The question of where we come from and where we go after death has puzzled humanity for centuries. Different cultures, religions, and philosophies have sought answers, each offering unique perspectives. Some believe that a divine creator brings us into existence, and after death, we are sent to either heaven or hell based on our actions. Others take a purely scientific view, asserting that life begins at conception and ends entirely at death, with no continuation beyond the physical body. However, Buddhism presents a different and profound explanation, one that is rooted in the principles of karma and rebirth. Rather than seeing life as a singular event with a fixed beginning and end, Buddhism teaches that existence is a continuous cycle shaped by our past actions and present choices. At TT-Buddhism, our goal is to share the wisdom of the Buddha's teachings in a way that is relevant and applicable to modern life. In this video, we will explore the Buddhist perspective on reincarnation, the nature of consciousness, and how our actions influence our future lives. We will uncover how the cycle of birth and death, known as samsara, operates, and what determines where we will be reborn. More importantly, we will discuss how understanding this process can help us live more mindfully and create a better future for ourselves. By applying these teachings in our daily lives, we can cultivate inner peace, make wiser choices, and work towards liberation from suffering. Stay with us as we embark on this journey to explore one of Buddhism's most fascinating and transformative teachings. Where do we come from, and where do we go? The Buddhist perspective on rebirth. Throughout history, humans have sought answers to the fundamental question of existence. Where do we come from, and where do we go after death? Different perspectives have emerged in response to this question, each shaped by cultural, religious, and scientific beliefs. In general, there are three main viewpoints on this matter: the religious belief in divine creation, the scientific view of material existence, and the Buddhist understanding of rebirth and karma. The first perspective is rooted in the idea that human beings were created by a supreme deity. According to this belief, before creation, individuals did not exist, and after death, their souls will either ascend to heaven or descend to hell based on their faith and actions in life. This notion of eternal reward or punishment raises several ethical and logical concerns. If a benevolent creator truly exists, why do some people suffer from birth with disabilities or endure great hardships despite living morally upright lives? Furthermore, the idea of an everlasting punishment in hell for mistakes made in a single lifetime seems disproportionate. Similarly, the notion of an eternal paradise for merely a few decades of good behavior appears unbalanced. These inconsistencies lead many to question the fairness of such a system. The second perspective is the materialistic scientific view, which asserts that life begins at conception as a result of biological processes and ends entirely at death. According to this view, consciousness is merely a byproduct of brain activity, and once the body ceases to function, the mind ceases to exist as well. While this explanation may seem logical, it fails to address certain unexplained phenomena, such as near-death experiences, past life memories in young children, and the ability of meditation to alter brain function in profound ways. Additionally, if human existence were purely mechanical, it would be difficult to explain the depth of human emotions, moral values, and spiritual experiences that transcend mere physical processes. Buddhism offers a different explanation, one that does not rely on divine intervention or the idea of total annihilation after death. Instead, it teaches that life is a continuous cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, known as samsara. Unlike the other two perspectives, Buddhism asserts that consciousness does not begin at birth or end at death, but instead continues through multiple lifetimes. The circumstances of each rebirth are determined by karma, the accumulated results of one's intentional actions, thoughts, and words. Good deeds lead to positive rebirths, while negative actions result in suffering in future existences. In this way, each individual is responsible for shaping their own destiny, rather than being at the mercy of an external deity or reduced to mere biological existence. Understanding the Buddhist perspective on rebirth helps us see life in a more interconnected way. Instead of viewing death as an absolute end or a final judgment, Buddhism encourages us to live mindfully, cultivate good actions, and develop wisdom. By doing so, we not only create a better present life, but also ensure a more favorable future existence. This perspective empowers individuals to take control of their actions and recognize the long-term impact of their choices, reinforcing the idea that our present lives are shaped by our past and will, in turn, shape our future. What is rebirth? How does the cycle of life and death operate? Buddhism teaches that life is not a single event with a defined beginning and end, but rather a continuous cycle known as rebirth. Unlike other perspectives that view death as either an absolute end or a gateway to eternal reward or punishment, Buddhism sees it as a transition, a continuation of existence, shaped by past actions. This cycle, called samsara, is driven by karma, the natural law of cause and effect. According to this teaching, every thought, word, and action we generate leaves an imprint on our consciousness, influencing the conditions of our next existence. When a person dies, their physical body ceases to function, but their consciousness does not disappear. Instead, it carries forward the accumulated karma and transitions into a new form of existence. This rebirth is not random. It is determined by the mental tendencies, emotions, and ethical qualities cultivated in the previous life. If a person has lived a life of kindness, generosity, and wisdom, their consciousness will gravitate toward a favorable rebirth. On the other hand, if their life was filled with selfishness, cruelty, and ignorance, they may find themselves in a state of suffering in the next life. Rebirth is not limited to a human form. In Buddhist teachings, existence takes place within multiple realms, each representing different levels of happiness or suffering. While the human realm provides a unique balance of joy and hardship, allowing individuals to learn and grow spiritually, other realms can be vastly different. Some beings are reborn in realms of great bliss, where pleasure is abundant but spiritual progress is slow. Others may be reborn in realms of intense suffering, where negative karma is exhausted before they can ascend to a better state. This cyclical nature of rebirth continues indefinitely until an individual attains enlightenment and breaks free from samsara. A common misconception about rebirth is that it suggests the existence of a permanent soul migrating from one life to another. However, Buddhism does not propose an unchanging self. Instead, it teaches that the process of rebirth is like a flame, passing from one candle to another. There is continuity, but no fixed entity that remains unchanged. The person we were in a past life is not exactly the same as who we are now, but our present character and circumstances are influenced by the past, just as our future will be shaped by our current actions. Understanding this process allows us to take responsibility for our lives. If we accept that our actions determine our future experiences, we become more mindful of the choices we make. Instead of blaming external forces for our hardships, we recognize that the power to create a better existence lies within us. By cultivating positive qualities such as compassion, patience, and wisdom, we not only improve our present life, but also ensure a brighter future. This realization empowers us to break free from destructive habits and align our actions with a path of inner peace and enlightenment. The 6 realms of rebirth. Where can we be reborn? Buddhist teachings describe the process of rebirth as taking place within 6 different realms of existence. These realms represent various states of being, each shaped by the accumulated karma of past actions. While many people assume that rebirth only occurs within the human world, Buddhism teaches that beings can be reborn in vastly different conditions, ranging from blissful heavenly realms to realms of intense suffering. These realms are not permanent destinations, but temporary states, in which beings continue to experience the effects of their past karma until they transition into another existence. The first realm is the heavenly realm, a state of great happiness and pleasure. Beings reborn here experience joy, peace, and abundance due to their past good karma. However, this realm is not eternal. Once their accumulated merits are exhausted, they must leave and be reborn elsewhere. Because life in the heavenly realm is so pleasurable, many beings become attached to comfort and neglect spiritual progress, making it difficult to break free from the cycle of rebirth. The second realm is the human realm, which is considered the most favorable for spiritual growth. Unlike other realms, the human realm offers a balance of happiness and suffering, allowing individuals to learn from their experiences and cultivate wisdom. While humans face challenges such as illness, aging, and emotional struggles, they also have the unique opportunity to practice mindfulness, develop compassion, and work towards enlightenment. This is why Buddhist teachings emphasize the importance of making the most of a human life, as it is the best position from which to escape the cycle of rebirth. The third realm is the realm of demigods, also known as the realm of titans, or asuras. Beings in this realm possess great power and influence, often living in conditions superior to those of humans. However, they are consumed by jealousy, pride, and a constant desire to compete with others. This restless ambition and dissatisfaction prevent them from attaining true happiness, causing them to remain trapped in the cycle of suffering. The fourth realm is the animal realm, where beings are driven primarily by instinct, survival, and fear. Those who are reborn as animals often experience suffering due to ignorance, exploitation, and vulnerability. They lack the intellectual capacity to reflect on their actions or seek spiritual growth, making it difficult for them to break free from this realm. Rebirth into the animal realm is often the result of ignorance and lack of wisdom in a past life. The fifth realm is the realm of hungry ghosts, where beings are tormented by insatiable desire and greed. They wander in a state of perpetual longing, unable to satisfy their cravings. Often depicted as having large stomachs but tiny throats, hungry ghosts represent those who were excessively greedy, selfish, or attached to material possessions in their past lives. Their suffering serves as a reminder that attachment and desire lead only to dissatisfaction and continued suffering. The sixth and most painful realm is the hell realm, where beings endure immense suffering due to the heavy negative karma they accumulated in previous lives. This realm is characterized by extreme torment, including intense heat, cold, and other agonizing conditions. However, like all other realms, existence in hell is not eternal. Once the negative karma is exhausted, beings will be reborn into another state of existence. Understanding these 6 realms helps us recognize the impact of our thoughts and actions. Instead of seeing these realms as distant, mythical places, we can view them as states of mind that influence our daily lives. For example, When we act with wisdom and compassion, we cultivate the qualities of the heavenly or human realms. When we give in to anger or greed, we embody the suffering of the lower realms. By being mindful of our actions and working towards positive change, we can ensure a better rebirth and ultimately move towards liberation from suffering. Karma and its role in rebirth. In Buddhism, karma is the fundamental force that determines the conditions of our rebirth. Unlike the idea of fate or divine judgment, karma is not a form of punishment or reward dictated by an external power. Instead, it is the natural law of cause and effect, where every intentional thought, word, and action creates consequences that shape our present and future experiences. Understanding karma allows us to take responsibility for our actions and recognize that our current circumstances are the result of past choices, just as our future will be shaped by the decisions we make today. Karma operates in a way similar to planting seeds. When we plant seeds of kindness, generosity, and wisdom, we cultivate positive outcomes and create conditions for a favorable rebirth. If we plant seeds of anger, greed, and ignorance, we invite suffering into our lives and risk being reborn into difficult circumstances. This process does not happen instantly but unfolds over time, sometimes carrying over into future lifetimes. It explains why some people seem to be born into fortunate circumstances, while others face hardship from the beginning. These differences are not random, but are the natural consequences of past actions. There are different types of karma, each influencing rebirth in unique ways. Heavy karma refers to extremely significant actions, such as acts of great compassion or severe cruelty, which take priority in determining the next life. Habitual karma is shaped by repeated behaviors and thought patterns. If someone consistently practices patience and kindness, these traits will manifest in future lives. Conversely, a person who repeatedly engages in dishonesty or aggression will carry those tendencies into their next existence. Proximate karma refers to the final thoughts and mental state at the moment of death, which strongly influence the nature of the next rebirth. A person who passes away with a peaceful and mindful state of mind is more likely to be reborn into a favorable realm, whereas someone who dies in fear, anger, or attachment may enter a lower state of existence. While karma plays a significant role in shaping our experiences, it does not mean that our future is entirely predetermined. Buddhism teaches that karma is dynamic and can be changed through conscious effort. Just as a farmer can cultivate new crops by planting different seeds, we can actively reshape our karma by transforming negative habits and embracing virtuous actions. Practicing mindfulness, compassion, and ethical conduct helps purify past negative karma and generates positive energy for the future. This is why meditation, generosity, and moral discipline are essential in Buddhist practice. They are tools for creating a better future, both in this life and in lives to come. Understanding karma also fosters a sense of self-accountability. Instead of blaming external forces for our misfortunes, we realize that our present struggles are opportunities to learn and grow. By making wiser choices and cultivating positive qualities, we not only improve our immediate well-being, but also set the foundation for a more enlightened and liberated existence. This perspective empowers us to break free from negative cycles and move toward a state of peace, wisdom, and ultimate liberation from suffering. Scientific evidence of rebirth and its practical applications. While the concept of rebirth is often viewed as a religious or philosophical belief, there is growing scientific interest in studying cases that suggest the possibility of past life memories. Researchers, particularly in the field of parapsychology, have documented numerous cases of children who claim to remember previous lives with remarkable accuracy. These cases, when thoroughly investigated, often reveal details that align with real historical events and individuals, despite the fact that the children have had no known way of accessing such information. One of the most famous researchers in this field is Dr. Ian Stevenson, a psychiatrist at the University of Virginia who spent decades studying cases of past life recall in children. His research compiled thousands of documented accounts where children could recall names, locations, and specific events from what appeared to be their previous lives. Many of these accounts were later verified through historical records and interviews with the families involved. One striking case involved a young boy who accurately described the life and death of a soldier, including details of the battlefield and his former family, which were later confirmed by military records. Cases like this challenge the conventional scientific understanding of consciousness and suggest that rebirth may not simply be a myth, but a phenomenon worthy of deeper exploration. Another widely known case is that of Shanti Devi, a girl from India who, at the age of 4, began recalling her past life in extraordinary detail. She provided specific names, described her former husband and home, and even recounted details of her death. Her claims were investigated by a government-appointed committee, which traveled to the location she described and confirmed the accuracy of her statements. The case of Shanti Devi remains one of the most compelling examples of past life recall and continues to intrigue both spiritual seekers and scientists alike. Beyond individual cases, modern studies on near-death experiences, NDEs, and hypnotic regression therapy have also provided insights into the possibility of consciousness continuing beyond death. Many people who have undergone NDEs report experiences of floating above their bodies, encountering beings of light, or recalling events from past lives. Similarly, under hypnosis, some individuals have recounted detailed past life experiences that, in certain cases, have been verified with historical accuracy. While these findings are not definitive proof of reincarnation, they present compelling evidence that human consciousness may extend beyond a single lifetime. From a practical perspective, the concept of rebirth offers a valuable framework for personal growth and responsibility. If we accept that our actions in this life influence future lives, we are encouraged to cultivate ethical behavior, mindfulness, and compassion. Rather than living in fear of punishment or reward from an external force, we understand that we are the architects of our own destiny. This realization inspires us to be more mindful of our thoughts and actions, knowing that they not only shape our present reality, but also impact our future existence. Whether one believes in rebirth or not, the lessons it offers remain profoundly useful. By focusing on self-improvement, kindness, and wisdom, we create a meaningful and fulfilling life in the present. This approach leads to a sense of peace and purpose, helping us navigate challenges with greater resilience. Ultimately, whether through spiritual conviction or scientific curiosity, exploring the idea of rebirth encourages us to live more consciously, take responsibility for our actions, and strive toward a life of greater awareness and compassion. Conclusion: the power of understanding, rebirth, and karma. The concept of rebirth in Buddhism offers a profound perspective on the nature of existence, emphasizing that life is a continuous journey rather than a single event. Unlike other beliefs that portray life as either a divine creation or a random occurrence, Buddhism teaches that our existence is shaped by our own actions through the law of karma. This understanding empowers us to take responsibility for our lives, knowing that every thought, word, and deed has consequences that extend beyond this lifetime. Instead of viewing death as an absolute end or a final judgment, we see it as a transition, a continuation of consciousness shaped by the choices we make today. By embracing this perspective, we cultivate a mindset of mindfulness, compassion, and ethical living, recognizing that our actions determine the quality of our future existence, encourages us to live with greater intention and wisdom. Instead of blaming external circumstances, we acknowledge that we have the power to transform our destiny through our own efforts. This realization leads to a more peaceful and fulfilling life as we learn to let go of attachments, cultivate kindness, and develop the inner wisdom needed to break free from suffering. At TT-Buddhism, our goal is to share these timeless teachings in a way that inspires self-discovery and personal growth. Whether one believes in rebirth or not, the lessons of karma and ethical living remain universally valuable. By making conscious choices and striving for inner peace, we create a better future not only for ourselves, but for all beings. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration. If you found this video insightful, please like, share, and subscribe to TT-Buddhism to continue learning and growing together. May you walk the path of wisdom and compassion with peace and clarity.